Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKodash. Say double honors to our apostles and elders. Here at Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So I just wanted to share a few anecdotes with you all, right? In particular regarding this group, Sicarii. Look, very soon, this group will be no more. All right, Yahweh Shai is visiting the earth. They're bringing, he's bringing the earthquakes in diverse places. He has Nero putting the squeeze on the people of Babylon. And he's visiting, as he said, judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, those who know that they're Israelites. And he's making his moves, man. There's a lot of fishy things going on with these camps. Our eyes are open to it. We know that the devil is about to make a move soon. Right? Yahweh Shai, we believe, gives us the scoop through the spirit as well as the scriptures according to the prophecy. And we believe it. And we believe it's coming to pass. So the Lord is making the moves. And you're going to see a lot of fishy activity going on with these camps come real soon. And I believe that this group known as Sicarii will soon be no more. All right. The Lord already is, the angels are already, they begun their judgment with that leader, right? Alazar Ban Loya. Okay. Then he is no priest. If anything, he's the chief wicked priest. And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, isn't even done with that guy yet. Right. But to share a few anecdotes with you, right? One day one day I had a dream, and it was a short, brief time where during it was in the street, and it was dark, and then you had like 2 or 3 men just come up to me. I think I had the brothers with me come up to us, and they were complaining about how they can't find their leaders of Sicarii, and they pulled out their phone and they actually went to their channels. And they went to their activity and their social media and all that, and they saw that they were inactive for at least like 2 weeks. And I basically just looked at it and I said, yeah, well, hey, good luck. And I shared that, I think I mentioned it a few times, but I shared that with the Akyam. I don't remember when, but I just remember sharing it. So when the Lord had put that evil spirit on that guy, Ariella, right, to expose Alzar, and, the guy talks about how he's about to step down and all that other stuff. That made me remember. And I shared it with the Akyam. And the brother actually was able to find, right, the time of what I said and the time of what I said. And I actually said it back in 2024, January. So I said, hey, look, see, there it is. Right. And not only that, but earlier, this was like within a year, we had these men from Sicarii that actually came down to the camp. They were from California. I want to say San Francisco. And the Lord actually blocked that interaction. It was spiritual. We had this guy that just comes across the street and he just starts to make a ruckus. We're at camp. I'm behind the camera. As soon as he comes over, these men from Sicarii come down. There was 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them, saying, hey, Shalom, we from Sicarii camp. We just want to say Shalom, etc. We said, hey, Shalom. But at that same time, this guy, this random Jake that comes across, starts to make a ruckus, throwing gang signs in the camera, making a ruckus, acting like, he's drunk. So she started to rouse the brothers up. And I took the time to like talk to him, like, hey, bro, calm down. What's going on? I'm trying to make sure things end peacefully. And then I remember that the brothers from Sicarii, or the men from Sicarii, they were still standing there, and they wanted to like speak or fellowship. But I remember the brother behind the camera who was teaching. He's like, yeah, well, you see, we dealing with a demon right now. So, and we was trying to calm him down. And then eventually the men of Sicarii left. And as soon as the men of Sicarii left, this guy leaves. He just crosses the street. And I remember marveling at him. So I'm like, who's this guy? The dude just came out of nowhere causing a ruckus. I was like, wow, that was weird. And then the next day, right? Brothers did response videos. They responded to something that Alazar said. Again, it was going off, right? Going off. And I was like, okay, these guys again. And that reminded me of the day before. I said, didn't we have some men from Sicarii that came down to camp? What happened with that? And when I thought back, I remember what happened was, as soon as those men came up, the Lord sent this spirit across the street to throw everything off. Because I remember I said, those men, they did actually linger around a little bit. Like they actually wanted to fellowship or talk or say something. But the Lord blocked that because he had our attention diverted to this guy. And then when eventually they left, because they lingered for a few minutes, they stood around for a few minutes. Once they left, this guy left. And I said, oh, I see what it was. The Lord said he blocked that interaction. Whether it was going to be peaceful or what, the Lord didn't want it to happen. So I kept it to myself. And then the next thing you know, these guys in Sicarii are what? Sitting down with Vocab Malone, the devil, right? And then after that, what did this Chief Alazar, the chief wicked priest, what did he do? Didn't he show up to a GMS camp talking about some brotherhood over breakdown? And what was our response? Hey man, stay the hell away from us. All this is happening, right? Like, yeah, see, it's the spirit. The Lord don't want us to be linked. While these groups are trying to link, the Lord don't want us to link. There's a lot of fishy stuff that's going on. You got IUIC linking up with the Nation of Islam, has zero scriptures to justify that. But they both got a 501c3. That's fishy. There's a lot of fishy things going on right now, and we're catching it through the spirit. The Lord has given us the scoop. And I believe that this group known as Sicarii, these guys are going to be gone. Pretty soon you won't be able to see these guys. They're just going to be gone. All right? If it's one thing that the scriptures prophesy, is that when the time comes, these false shepherds, these false sheep, first of all, they're going to try to extract as much money as they can from the sheep because they don't care about them. And when the time comes, they're going to be gone. What does John chapter 10, verse 11 say? I am the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. And the hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. And what is a hireling? One who's hired. He's just playing a role. And look, I've been said forever, man. That dude Alzar is just an actor, a bad one at that. Them guys are just actors. And they're in it. They're telling you what they're in it for. They're in it for the money. Greedy dogs. This guy goes on camera and brags about how much money he made. He can't wait to talk about how much money he made in a year. I made this much a month. I made this much a month, like a YN. But when his equipment supposedly comes up missing, they can't do no videos. So what are they doing? They asking the congregation to all these guys do is panhandle on camera, but they asking the congregation to buy the new equipment. Wait a minute, you can make a video from your phone to do a video, but you can't make a video and say, look, the spirit must go on. We're gonna do this lesson, right? But I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm willing to bet that nigga can easily pay that the equipment that's supposedly lost. But what's his attitude? I ain't paying for this. Y'all gonna pay for this, because that's how they see you all. And eventually, man, they're gonna extract as much as they can from the sheep, and they're just gonna leave you guys out to dry. And what is our response going to be? Go to the sellers and buy. 2 Peter 2. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. Paul isn't a man of the Lord. Paul is the author of confusion. We don't have to worship Yahushua. There won't in the kingdom of heaven, there's still going to be a priestly temple for sacrifice because, apparently Yahushua's sacrifice wasn't good enough to take sin from Israel. So we're still going to be sinning. And we need to sacrifice to take that away. Because the Lord couldn't take that away, shall I say. damnable heresies. It says, even denying the Lord that bought them and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Everything that actor Alazar's done, he's brought swift destruction upon himself. Talking mad crazy to his apostles and elders, thinking that he's just going to fly by with that. Yeah, he's going to get away with that. Talking mad stuff about the elders and apostles, cursing out his own elders and teachers, calling them niggas, calling high priest Ariah, saying F him, right? The man who taught us the Hebrew, all because the apostles and elders, they thought that we thought the man passed. So they just given, their respect. And because they didn't respond like a nigga like he is, he's got the nerve to call them out and then said, F high priest Ariah. But he only said that because he thought that the man had passed. Once he found out that the man hadn't passed, he ain't had nothing to say. No apology, no repent, no nothing. See, the Lord set him up. He set him up. And then once he realized that the elder is still alive, he ain't had nothing to say. All that attitude, all that was gone. Yeah, fucking pussy, man. These niggas, and look, man, you find out this leadership, everybody in that part of that leadership, I don't care if they change the name to Genesis or whatever it is, the niggas is a card, they nigga a bunch of faggots, man. Suspect, all them guys, man. The Lord is bringing that group to an end. Them niggas just in it for the money. All them guys suspect, man. All kind of, everything's off. Doing everything wrong. Because even Alazar mentioned what he said about the deacon, that he also another one that likes to get his butt played with. Right? And horseradish root is too bitter. I am not eating that. Niggas suspect, man. The Lord's about to make a end with this group. Down with this group, down with Sicarii, and down with all the branches. Nothing that they're doing has anything to do with the ministry. They're in it for the money. Just like even the deacon said, oh, I'm so glad that when I get off the internet, I got a big, nice house. I got 3 wives. I get to hop in something nice. Has nothing to do with the ministry. And I watched these guys when they started that Genesis, okay? The first thing they had was merchandise available. That's the first thing they had. Them guys don't even go out on the highways and byways and teach unless they can schedule some type of interaction, because everything's about attracting views. How about where's the 1 hour, 2 hour live feed of just them just teaching on the street? They're not doing it because they're not in it for the ministry. They're not in it for the truth. They're in it for their own pockets, man. What does verse 2 says? And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And through covetous shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. See, they think they're going to get away. They're going to leave their sheep out to dry after they extract as much money as they possibly can from them. And then they think they're going to escape, but the Lord's going to render to them according to their own works. The Lord is rendering to Alazar, the chief wicked priest, according to his own works, talking reckless at the mouth. And the Lord is using one of his own, put an evil spirit on one of his own evil men to give him that same treatment. Since Alazar is like, who are my elders? Who's the apostles? Who are they? Guess what? The Lord put an evil spirit on that guy to say, who is this nigga Alazar? Who is this nigga? Teaming up with the wives and all these things. And the Lord ain't done with you yet. Okay? Dude's a pussy, man. Talked all that mad stuff about his own elder because he thought he passed, but once he saw that the man didn't pass, nothing to say. Dude's no thug, no gangster, no nothing. It's all just a fucking act. I remember when they had that so-called unity camp with whatever group that was. They ain't in the truth neither. But the cops were called. And they was like, well, look, nigga, they like, look, Sicarii want to fight, we can fight. But it took Sarnetta to act as the peacemaker between the two. And he was like, the Lord is setting me up to make a peacemaker between y'all. I said, wait a minute. Ain't they Sicarii? Ain't they the big bad Sicarii, the dagger man? Why do they need a non-believer to act as a peacemaker? Isn't what they do? Isn't why they chose that name? Huh? Man, get the fuck out of here. These dudes, man. Hey, look, don't try to hand me no flyers. Cause I'm just gonna look at you like there's something wrong with you. All right, I'm just gonna say, is Paul a man of the Lord? Is Paul a man of the Lord? Oh, he is. Okay, then why do you teach with hats on your head? Oh, now he's not a man of the Lord according to your leader, huh? Like, look, man, down with that whole group, man. And yes, those will be my exact words. Okay, the Lord is about to make an end to that group. Okay, it's established in wickedness. All the trees and the branches, all of them, all wicked. They're all in it for gain, right? And just like when you read about the Sicarii and the ancient, they've accomplished nothing. They resorted to infighting, which is what's happening now. They went to slew one another, and then they committed self deletions. All right, they were not followers of Yahweh Yahushua. And when you guys realize that you've been played like a fool, we're gonna tell you go to the sellers and buy. It's a lot of fishy activity going on with these groups. All right, IUIC joining hands with the Nation of Islam. No scriptures to back that up. All right, ISUPK, pay your Passover fee, pay it, pay it, pay it. These guys are about to cash in their chips on the sheep because they see the wolf is coming. Just watch. Just watch, man. Shalom.